Good morning. This is Josh Hayes with Hedge Plus, and here's today's market monitor. Well, the market continues to trade as though the weather is perfect, despite signs to the contrary. Crop ratings fell for corn, for winter wheat, for spring wheat, and soybeans held at 66% good to excellent. That does show there has been some adverse weather. You guys know it. We know it. We've heard about it. We've seen it. Um, but it seems like what keeps happening is wherever a weather issue pops up, the forecast turns favorable for that area, and the market takes that as problem solved. But the issues are accumulating, and this could be, somewhat of a repeat of last year where it doesn't show up until the crop is reduced at the end of the year and the numbers are adjusted, because right now the market continues to trade as though everything is just going perfectly, when we all know it's not. There's also been weather in Brazil. Their safrinha harvest has been really, really slow. 13% complete versus 34% at this time last year. It's been wet there. The damp weather has definitely slowed things down. Also, hasn't really showed up in the markets. And now we've had this conflict in the Middle East come and go with very little market reaction. And when we did see any market reaction, it lasted, you know, minutes, if not hours, just a few hours. And now we've seen crude oil fall back down to $65 a barrel. It's seemingly thought that the tensions there have eased. It does appear as though the Trump's intervention has worked. He successfully was able to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities while also convincing them not to push back in any major way. Yesterday, Iran essentially ceremoniously launched a few missiles, giving the United States prior warning and making sure that nothing of importance was hit, and certainly no lives were lost. And then a ceasefire was negotiated soon after. Now, overnight, the ceasefire has been apparently violated by both countries. It's more of an argument over timing and what time the ceasefire was set to begin. It doesn't sound like it's going to blow up into anything again. And after what we just witnessed and how little it impacted the markets, I certainly wouldn't expect a small violation of the ceasefire to do much either. Weather-wise, outside of the U.S., their Canadian prairies are getting rain that they desperately needed, and in the U.S., the Southern Plains is starting to dry out after what's been quite a long spell of wetness for them. So right now, as often has been the case lately, weather is considered favorable. So we had these issues. It had very little impact on the market. Then the weather turns in the areas where it's needed. It's also improved in China, and the market definitely seems to react quite a bit to favorable weather and not a whole lot to weather that's not quite as favorable. So as we take a look at that, 1 to 3 inches rain expected from Kansas to Wisconsin. This is key because it's going to fall in an area that's the most, I'd say, critical: western Iowa, uh, eastern Nebraska, and southeastern South Dakota. This is an area that desperately needs rain to avoid becoming a problem, especially with the heat we just had. There's definitely some questions about yield there in those areas already, but this forecast is helping to keep the market down because it's basically showing that the rain is going to come where it's needed most. As I mentioned, in China, recent rains there have helped. It has shrunk their drought area. In Canada, prairies are both cooling off and getting needed rain, so that is definitely helping what had been a very hot and dry area there. And then, as I mentioned as well, in Brazil, damp weather is delaying the safrinha harvest. Not really seeing an impact. yet from that. Perhaps maybe it's preventing prices from being even lower as far as the corn that's coming out of that region. Quick look at the overnight prices, still down across the board, just as we were yesterday, and then all throughout the day yesterday. Corn, it's a very important level right here, 433. This is a long held support level. We really need to see this support level hold again. Otherwise, we could really start to see a significant drive down from here. Compared to where we were at this time yesterday, corn is down about 4 cents, soybeans down to 14 cents, and wheat is down about 19 cents. Uh, what's happened with wheat is we've seen the risk taken away that there would be supply disruptions and hoarding in the Middle East as that conflict dies down, and then also the weather has improved considerably in key places such as Canada, the southern U.S. plains, and in China. That's all for today. I hope we'll have better news for you by the end of today and certainly by tomorrow. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you.